Good morning. Ready to rock and roll. Cloudy but sunny. So it's supposed to be nice. Good morning, come on in. Tuesday, lovely sunny day here. Just as I hit the go live button, the sun came in. Isn't that lovely? That must be a sign that we're going to have a lovely time together. Come on in. It's Tuesday, and it must be, if it was my brother's birthday on Saturday the 13th, the 14th, the 15th, it's the 16th of June. My goodness, the 16th of June already. There we go. We must be coming up to the longest day of the year, aren't we? Goes up and then it comes back down again. Dave's prepared a really good blog for tomorrow. I think it's on the Clarity Matters, because we do two blogs, don't we? I blog every day, and I often do arty stuff like yesterday. And Dave and Grace and Steve Ellen and Stuart, it's a team effort. And I think Dave's done a really great blog. I read it yesterday, and it was all about, the sun rises and the sun sets. And this is where we'd like to be, and this is where we are. And it's a really, really powerful blog, well worth reading. So claritymatters.com, that's where you'll find his blogs, and Grace's are also pretty powerful. Stuart's in the building. Good morning, Stuart. You're in the building with everybody today, not in my building, in your building. So if you have any questions, Stuart will be there to help you. Give us a sign, Stuart. Let me know that the volume's good. That would be great. Early to the party. We're in the colouring week today, this week, aren't we? We're doing hummingbirds. We haven't got to the hummingbirds yet. We did a flower yesterday. Come on in. Have you got your tea with you? Get your tea. You rock. You rock. I tell you what, you blimmin' do rock as well. Your artwork is going really, really well. When I look at Clarity Worldwide, blimey. Linda Williams, she texted me earlier on and she said, it's unbelievable, isn't it? I said, I know. It really is unbelievable when you see the amount of talent, and all it's been is just unlocking it, isn't it? Just unlocking it, just getting it going, and the repetition, isn't it? And having the time, and wow, some of this artwork that I'm seeing, most of the artwork I'm seeing is just spectacular. But there are no competitions here. There's no judging, and there are no experts. We're just super creative people, evidently. When I look at your artwork, it makes my day. And so today we're learning a couple of tricks. Yesterday, because Dee Paramore, she's in the building too, I hope. She kindly donated a beautiful piece of artwork, and I thought we would use it as a vehicle. So let's have a look. It's not quite 10 o'clock yet, but so we'll just hang on. But yesterday we learnt how to blend colours so that they look just super smooth. Look, I mean, you may have seen this piece of artwork kicking around on Facebook a couple of weeks ago. I've been saving it for us. Oh no, glorious. And interestingly, I was talking to Dee earlier, and she didn't look up hummingbird colours or flower colours. She just wanted it to be bright and beautiful, And I think she nailed that one. So yeah, it's not a photograph, it's art. And not only is it art, it's your art. And you can make the flowers any colour you like, as with the hummingbirds. So I'm just going fuchsia. I'm going to a fuchsia colour. But we've got fuchsias in the garden that are light pink, gorgeous, little, tiny. Just amazing, isn't it? So come on in, nearly 10 o'clock. In fact, it is. Welcome to the SHAC, safe, happy and creative, stay home and craft. And whilst the lockdown is now slowly being lifted, many of us are still staying home and safe. for sure. I'm one of them, and I think if you're still at home doodling along and colouring along with me, then you are too. I think I didn't get to 61 years of age and have to be told. I mean, I stick to the government guidelines, but just because the government says it's okay to queue up for 3 hours to get to, what was the shop? I've never even been in the shop. I haven't even ever been in it. I've been to John Lewis. I don't like John Lewis. I've never even been in the shop, and I saw yesterday queues and queues and queues, and I thought, what? Have I missed it? Have I missed something really, really important about this shop because I've never been in there? I must check. Mad. But that's what I think. And, you know, opinions are like noses, and everyone's got one. And I just think I'll know when I want to go queue up for 3 hours to get into a shop, and it's not today. Right, we're ready to colour in. Far more practical, far more creative. Yeah, let's have a look at Dee's work, and then we can look at that. What a masterpiece. So yesterday we concentrated on this beautiful flower, and we took those colours, didn't we? We took the fleshy flesh and the rose carmine, and then we took the orange one and we blended it to make this colour, didn't we? And I looked up because I noticed there was a little bit of confusion around the medium flesh. Some of you had these tins of 100, no, is it 120? 60 pencils. 60 pencils I've got here, the polychromos. And you said you didn't have the medium flesh in there. So I turned the tin on its head and I looked on the back, and because I thought, because I've got loads of, trouble is, you see, I've got loads of pencils. And I thought, maybe it snuck in. But then I looked on the back and it's there. It is. The number, if we're looking at the number, is 131. So it is in my tin. I don't know why it's not in your tin. But there you go. Like Dee said, and like I say, it's your art. You don't have to completely, copy exactly to the colour. You do what you want to do, and if you haven't got that colour, then try something different. It doesn't mean that this is the only solution. There are as many solutions as there are blends of colours in your tin. Go out in the garden, have a look. It's crazy. Look at these beautiful flowers. Look at this, Karen Smith. They're still going strong. Look, absolutely glorious. Look at that peony. Those roses. I mean, they're perfection. And yeah, just phenomenal, aren't they? Right. So those are the three we used to go with the to do those lovely big, beautiful lilies, or whatever they are. And then today I thought we'd have a look. Do you remember I said we'll have a look at the fuchsias? So I did try one earlier, I've got to get my eye in as well, haven't I? And I did mine a little bit differently today because I thought we could have a little bit of a variation. I used the same colours, or more or less. Let's have a look in this. Let's have a look here, and you'll see. Let it just focus. Right, now this is so interesting. Look at these, and you see how it looks, the curl, it looks like that, doesn't it? It looks, when you look at this one, let me just get in here. When you look at this, right, it's like it's curled, isn't it? Beautiful. When you look at mine, same one, it's curled, but it's flicked at the end. See, so the only difference is that Dee coloured her flicked part in dark. And straight away, it looks, at first glance, as if it's curled right in. And mine looks as if it's flicked out. So I just wanted to show you. And also, look at the beautiful detail on Dee's. See how she's introduced lines, veins into the flowers. I have too, but I've gone more with white where the light's catching it. See the difference? So these are really, really are artist postcards, you know, and the outline is there. Now, what you do with the infill is entirely up to you. There are so many options, so many possibilities. And so I thought we'd start with the fuchsia and we'll go from there, and we'll see. Now, what I did on this one, just because I wanted to see what it would look like if I put the background in. So I did a really light covering of black. I mean, I just wanted to see how black it has to get, right? Because look, you can go with the same pencil, you can go seriously black, or you can go more mottled. So that's something that we can look at, but the trick is to get right in on the image. So we'll have a look at one of the fuchsias today, and then if we get a chance, we'll just come in with a little bit of the black to see how that works too. Yeah. Otherwise, we're going to be doing black for 2 days, aren't we? Right. So, are you ready to rock and roll? I'm going to go with that one there, and it was lovely to see that you'd already done all your homework. See, to me, what that means is when I see that you've done your homework, what that means is you're into it. That means you're into it. You still need it. You want the diversion, the distraction, the skill. You know, that's what I see. When I see all your beautiful artwork popping up all over Clarity Worldwide, I see that there are still a lot of us who need this distraction, in a nutshell. Right, so far as this one goes, I used, but you can use whatever you've got in your colouring tin. I used pink madder. Did I write it on the back? I usually do. There you go. Rose madder or pink madder lake. Barbara. I used pink madder, it says there. What I'll do. Pink madder. And then I used middle purple pink. These are all from the tin of 60 polychromos. And then I used the magenta. So numbers wise, let's go for the numbers here. Not that I'm not saying you got to use them. I'm just saying that everybody wants to know. So I might as well get it out in the open now. Stuart, you might want to write this down because you will get asked. It's 129, 125 and 133. Those are the colours. And the pergoliners, you've got some really beautiful. You've got a B14, which is the perfect fuchsia. B14, that's the one you're after. Am I missing a pink here? Where's my... Yeah, here. Anyway, B14 is the one you're after there. That's a lovely colour. And you could always mix it up a little bit with the A pencil, the 9. When we go to... Oh, hello. It's got a life of its own. Right. Down the road a little bit, I'd really like to try some watercolour. These are waterproof though. Remember yesterday we were working on the... it was lovely. We worked with the blending tool, didn't we? The blending pen. What a transformation, eh? I know. Beautiful. Right, we're ready to rock and roll. We're going to go for this one here. And I'll tell you what I'll do before we even start. Let me get up on my little perch and let me come in a little bit tighter, because I think that helps, doesn't it? How about that? That'll help, won't it? Right, is everybody sitting comfortably? Are you all ready to rock? Are you ready to start? Yes? Good, good, good. Bit of scrap paper. I've got my scrap paper there. I'll make sure I'm in the picture. Right, make sure you're in the picture, Gray. And then we're going to do exactly the same as we did with the larger one yesterday, that beautiful lily type flower. What we're going to do, you remember I was talking yesterday, if you're new to the party, I was talking about making a chisel, like this. Right, so you just go like that and you get a flat, you make a flat. And the more you do this, the flatter it will get. See, now this particular pink that I'm using here, if I press hard, it's quite bright, right? But we don't want that. What we're after is this. That's what we're after. Do you remember yesterday we established, I think you surprised yourselves at how beautifully the colours blend when you how beautifully the colours blend when you layer them up. Makes such a difference, doesn't it? Right. Dame Edna's. Got to see what I'm doing. So we're going to put a light undercoat down first. Are you happy to do this with me? It's a great relaxation thing, isn't it? I think so. I know some people think that we're mad, spending an hour on a flower. An hour on a flower, must be mad. It's not about that though, is it? Right, we're ready. So we're going to just now, very lightly, we're going to put an undercoat on the whole, just little circular motions. Do us a favour though. See these bits here? I'm coming in, let me see, let me take a stylus. See that bit there? And these bits that are flipped over, these bits that are curled, or, see that's definitely curled, that's curled, yeah? Don't leave that bit there, that bit there, that bit there, and that bit there. Leave it white, don't, you get more contrast, that's all. You can always colour it in later if you choose to, can't you? Right, so we're going to get in there. There we are. And we're like putting down an undercoat, and we're establishing the area that we're going to work on. I think that's not a bad idea, is it? Don't take that long. There you go. Turn the flower around a little bit in a minute so you can get in on the edge. Yeah? Quite relaxing this, isn't it? I love it. Lightly does it. Just to get that. Once you get your eye in, it doesn't take so long, does it? Didn't you find yesterday when you did that one, it did take the full hour, but then I whistled round the other ones, didn't you? It didn't take an hour. It took me an hour to do all of them then. I think it's just establishing, isn't it? It's getting the tricks in and getting your eye in. And how are you all today? You all right? Funny old world at the moment. I don't know what to think. And I'm imagining that I'm not alone on that one. I think several million of us. There is comfort to be had in the fact that we're not on our own, isn't it? We're all looking at each other going, well, what's happening here now? So that's why it's really even more important than ever right now to come in here and just chill a bit. And do something beautiful, really, aren't we? Do something beautiful, eh? I mean, so look, we're already getting there now. So we've got that colour. And then what we'll do now, though, we'll use the same colour to add a little bit of shade. So if we look at this one now, have a look. If we want to add a bit of shade, we'll use the same. We're going to add a bit of shade in the areas that are tucked in behind. So do you remember yesterday I talked about flipping, so that when you flip the pencil, see if you've got a chisel on one side, then if you flip it like that, then it will be sharper, won't it? See, I've got a real nice tip there now, so I can get in. Gently does it though, but I can get in on the edge, on the line, see? So I can, if that's behind that petal, then I'll add, I've flipped it now, so I'm just using the tip just to get my colours in. Softly, 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 softly. Yeah? So here, for example, this is going to be the bit it flips over this way. So this is going to be the bit behind the flip for me. So I might take the flat now. We're still using the lightest colour that we're using. See, so it's the same principle as it was with that one. That's exactly what we did, didn't we? We said hang on to the flesh colour and now add the shadow where you feel it needs to be. See? So just in there and then flick, flick, flick. what you'll find is, see this one as well, just flick in there. I know I'm stating the obvious here, but I'm going to say it. Look at what you're looking at. Look at what you're looking at. You know, the whole theme this week is about watching. Do you know, I was saying yesterday about going in the woods and listening carefully and opening my eyes, and that app. Just in case you're interested, and I haven't got shares in this app, I just think it's excellent, right? It's called Picture This, and it's the app. It's like a plant identifier. It's brilliant, right? And so you can, let me see if I can just show you what it looks like. It looks like that one. Picture This, it's called, okay? And it costs money. You get a free trial, so you can have a go. And you could run around the woods for a week, click every single flower that you can find and then every tree, and then reject it. But to be honest, what I found when I was using it, what was so good was that it makes you look. So I want to bring this, oh, this needs to be darker because it's behind, you see. And then this one's behind that one. And I'm still just using the light pink now. And then this one here, God, my hands are all clammy. Why am I so clammy today then? I need my doobree. Right, and then this one here, for example, this is tucked in under here, but I want some light on it. So what I'm saying is, you can look at what you're doing. Like say, pretend there's not a line here, there's not a colouring line, I've got to introduce the line. But say I want to, you look at what I've done here, and you'll see I've made a line, like there's a fold there. It's not in the artwork, I've made it. And all you do is just take your pencil, look at what you're looking at and say, right, so if the light's hitting that, there's a pleat there, there's like a fold. So that bit's a bit darker than that bit. And straight away, you can see that there's definitely a light hitting it there. And then you can come in. And the other thing is, it's all about pressure as in, not pressure, head pressure, pressing, right? If you press hard, it will go darker. So you keep it light, stay on the flat, small circular motions, and just layer on layer on layer. There you go. And if you look at it and you think, hang on a minute, that doesn't look right. That fold doesn't look like I had it in my head, right? This isn't right. It's not like when we pen, when we're doodling. Doodle's done, isn't it? When you put ink to the paper, that's the end of the game. See, now this though, if I overcook it or I put too much pressure on and then I get that seal, so then I can't add any more colours, right? If anything like that happens, then all I've got to do is take my eraser to it, my pink eraser, and it will take it straight out again. And you can add detail with your eraser. So for example, you could make that dark, and then you could take your eraser and you could put the white in rather than labour over. Look, watch this space here, right? Let's just say, this is for the sake of argument, say I want to put a little bit of white, a little flash of white through there. So I'll take my eraser, see, and I add my flash of white with the eraser. So that's not a bad idea either, is it? So you can use your rubber to do that too, the pink one. So that's not a bad thing. So if you do overcook it, you may go in with your eraser and change it, which is great, isn't it? Am I talking too much? It's because I'm on my own. I don't know. If it was silent, if I stopped talking now, you'd all start looking up thinking, is she gone? Where's she shot off to? Where's she gone? Or you'd think, oh, hang on, she's run out of batteries. The bats are dead. So I've got to keep talking. No. Otherwise you'll wonder what's going on. There you go. That's a nice little flick like that. I like that one. There you go. So I'm using the light pink just to get my definition. Oh, do you know who's here? It's the window cleaner again. Do you remember when he was here last time? Right. Okay. I'll have to go and sort him out. Right. There you go. Good. So you can see you've got your layers, haven't you? You've gently kind of introduced where you want your yeah, this is going to be really nice. So the sun's hitting the areas that are still white. Got it? Well, they're not white, are they? Because we pinked them. Okay, so now we've done that, how about we try to add a little bit of the darker colour? Should we do that? Right, so what we're going to do now is take the darker colour. Right, now. Thing is, it's dark, but it doesn't have to be dark. It can be really light. Look, you see what I'm getting at? It's a different blend of pink. It's only dark if I press hard. So lightly, lightly does it. Practice on your piece of paper first. All of them. Even black. Listen, black's not black until you press hard, is it? Look. Black can be really light grey if you don't press hard. I think that's what we're learning more than anything this week, is all about pressure. So let's have a look now, and what I want to do is take the darker colour and pretty much go back over the same place as I was before. Let me just get in there. Right, with the flat. And now we're going to come round that edge and we're going to see, where do we want to put? I think I'm going to put a little bit of shadow in that bit there, because that's like underneath, I think. There you go. That's in there. That's going to be darker. So I'm going to bring a little bit of drama in there. Right, here we go. So, and if you use light feathery strokes like this, you'll start to get like the veins from the fuchsia. Beautiful flowers, fuchsias, aren't they? So exotic, eh? It's a funny old spelling, fuchsia, as well, because it's got all those C's and S's and H's in there. But you know, in German, because in German it's called a Fuchsie, like Fuchsie, I know that the C comes first because of my German. See? I have my mum to thank for that. So fuchsia, often you see it on packets even. You think, oh no, you didn't spell that wrong on a printed packet. Good God. Hate it when that happens. Right, here we go. So just add a little bit of depth in there, because this is where it goes in, doesn't it? If you see what I mean. This is where it goes in. So we just add a little bit of depth there, like so. Right. There we are. You can see now that this is the bit that's coming underneath. Can you feel that? Yeah? So quite dark there, because that's the bit that's buried within the flower. So I flip it, like remember I said yesterday, you flip it and then you can get in really tight, can't you? See, when you flip. Yeah, he's definitely here, isn't he? The old, can you hear him? Right, there you go. I don't mind working above the garage though. It's I've been up here for years really, haven't I? You think about it. This is where I do a lot of my artwork, where I do all my prep, you know. So it's not unusual. It's not unusual. I sound like Tom Jones. It's not unusual. Da, 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 da. It's not unusual for me to be up here on my own doing artwork. See, and I like silence as well. Do you listen to music, or do you? Let me just get a nice flat edge. I'm using the pink now. I'm going backwards and forwards. Do you listen to music when you're working, or do you? This is where I want a bit of pink, is in here. It's a bit white. Or do you work in silence like me? What do you prefer? Or does it vary? There you go. Right, now let me have a look. Where are we going with this? Oh yeah, okay, let's have a look at this one here, because this has got like a pleat that way. So this one wants to be dark in there a bit, doesn't it? So we'll use that darker one, the middle one. Do you remember I said yesterday, in effect, what we've got is a light, a medium, and a dark. Those are the three. And the dark one, well, it's really pointy, and it's the one that I'm going to use to get the detail, or the dark one works to get the veins in. Right, so I flip the pencil and I'll get that lovely, so it looks as if it, see, so straight away it looks like it's folded over. And now this one's behind this one, so we'll add a little bit of colour in there, little circular motions. I think what I love about this process is that it's how it builds, you know, how it comes together, doesn't it? Just flicking between, oh hello, I'm migrating off the page here. It builds between layers, it just goes, see? And in a minute, let's just get this colour in here. How are we doing for time? Not so bad, not so bad at all. See? So you can see it's starting to build, can't you? Got a little bit of light there, a little bit of depth in there. Right, let's add a little bit more depth. So again, the flat of the middle, I think that one there needs a bit more oomph under there. But that's where I had that vein, didn't I? So I don't want to kill that off yet. Right. So, let's have a look. Good. I think this is working, isn't it? Yeah, yes it is. Right, let's have a look. Okay, I reckon. And now, right, what I want to do next is smooth it all out a little bit. Let's smooth it all out with our blending tool. This makes such a difference. Right, let's have a look. So you could probably get away with doing this with your pencil just going on and on and on and on and on. But this, for me, just gives it a completely different feel. So I'm using a new nib, and now I'm going to go in and gently, what I'm doing is just moving the pigment around, like so. There we are. And you can see it starts to really go lovely and smooth, look. See? Look. So you take in the colour. Let's do this great big one in the middle. So we're going into that dark area there. And I'm working with the veins as well. And then where the white bit is, see now I'm pulling that colour, but look how it smooths it out. So it stops being so gritty and pencil worky, if that's an expression. There, look. Check out the difference between that and say the bonds around it. See? So we've done this one. The thing is you don't lose the shading, it just changes the texture. Makes it look like satin. Let's have a look if we can see it closer. If I come in, just let it right. And you can see the ones that I've done versus the ones I haven't done. It's brilliant, really. And because we're blending the colours now together and we're toning it in, that doesn't mean, though, do you remember we said yesterday, that does not mean for a minute that we can't add more layers. Absolutely not. So you just bring your colours in like this. This is just dry. There's nothing on here. It's just a felt nib. Okay. So, bright and beautiful. Attention to detail. That's what we're looking at this week. I think it's... yeah. I think we've spent so many years now running around like headless chickens from one job to another project, to another job. You too, I bet you have as well, a lot of you. You know, got to do the garden, you can't sit in the garden because you can't sit and relax in the garden, because as soon as you sit down you think, oh, I've got to do the weeding and look at the state of that flower bed and oh, that looks shocking and blah, 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 blah. So you never really ever enjoy the moment that you're in. That's what I think. And so if nothing else, this colouring session, our doodle sessions, what they do is they keep us right on this, don't they? You know? And if somebody says, what, you spent an hour colouring in a fuchsia? It's like, oh no, you don't understand. I spent an hour colouring in a fuchsia, focusing on exactly what I was doing, on light and shade, on pleats, on colour. There's so much joy to be had in this, you know. Look. Isn't that nice? It's not done yet. Not done yet, look. But we're getting there. You see how you build up the layers? And let's look at these. Boom, dark, dramatic. A lot of the reason that Dee's is so dramatic, it's no different to mine actually when you look at the two together. Not that different in depth. It's because of the blackness. Makes it jump, doesn't it? Makes it look really, really dimensional. So now, let's say we've got that colour down. See, what you could do next, if you wanted to, you could go in and you could add another layer. Say here, you think, oh, it's a little bit white. See, I'm not a jar to white. I'm not adverse to white. I think it's okay to have a bit of whiteness because it looks like, see? So you could build up that colour there. Let's just do this one. And once you've got this colour down, I just want to put a little bit more in this one. Because the veining ones, that is the last job. You've got to get your colour and your depths of colour and your shading in before you start adding, you know, you take your third pencil and you add the veins. Because yeah, I think so anyway. I think it's best to do them last because they're a real detail, aren't they? And so again, it's just pressure and layers and pressure. When I say pressure, gentle, gentle, gentle layers of colour, right? And you can use the same colour, and just press a bit harder, or just add another layer, and you'll see it works really well. So say now, for example, I've coloured this bit in. Like, there you go. Look, I've bodged this now. I'm just showing you an example of how to pull something back. So say you're looking at this and you think, oh, I've overcooked it. It's just one big pink blob now. Yeah, I get that. Right, so if that happens, this is where your rubber comes in. So let's have a look. If that's what you've got, but you don't want that, then we can do two things. First of all, blend the colour in so that you can see what you've actually got. Tidy it all in. So we've coloured in now, like so, let's say. So it's not bad. It's a little bit lumpy in it, a bit blocky compared to everything else. You think, oh, that didn't go so well, did it? But practice, practice, right? And if that happens, then you take your, let's take your rubber, stay on the outside and start flicking in now, right, where you'd like to see a little bit of light. Look, watch. So I can put a little bit of light from that tip, and I use a brush rather than my finger to look at that. See how you use the rubber or the eraser to actually take it out again, and no one will ever know that you had a big pink. See, so I've just spent all that money on the window cleaner and now it started raining. Ah, poor bloke. Right. So you get what I'm talking about, how you can lift colour. Yeah? And on this side as well, if you want to take a little out of this side. Look, that's why these pencils are so good, because you can get right in tight. Look. Get it? Right, and then we've got these bits that we flipped, that we did, didn't we? We left them because we wanted to we didn't want to make them disappear. So now I'm just taking the sharper side and just adding a little bit of depth along the bottom, because that's where it would be. It would be here, wouldn't it? Think it through. Right, so we just take the chisel and I'll just add a little tiny bit of shadow in that area there. And again, if you overcook it, you know what? You just get your rubber out, your eraser. Can you hear that rain? Well, you know what they say, if you don't like the English weather, just wait a minute. Eh? How's your fuchsia coming along? Is it good? Fuchsia. Okay, I reckon that we're getting there now, aren't we? Hey? And you could spend the next 20 minutes just titivating. I think that's the word. You titivate, don't you? Do a little bit here, a little bit there, add another layer, right? But in essence, what you've got going on here, you can add it, you can take it away, build it up. You see, if you want a solid, like, see, there's still a lot of white here, isn't there? So we need another layer of pink. But also, the thing that will change this is when I start moving into the white area with the blending pen. You see, this will start to, see how it fills it now? So the white area starts to look more, look, see? It's all about the blending pen as well. It makes such a difference. Look, check it out. Yeah? So there's something to consider. You could spend a good hour today. Let's have a look. How many of these have we got on here? Oh, actually, hang on a minute. I haven't done my darkest one. This is the one. Right. So this one here is magenta. See, now, usually I'd have a couple more layers to go on here. But I think I'll add a bit of magenta. Watch see the tone change. So I've used the same colours, but the one that's missing is this colour. This is the next layer. So for example, I've got a real sharp edge on this one. I sharpened this one. And now I'm going to add this depth. And I'm using light feathery strokes just across there we go. And you'll see how it changes the tone. It makes it less pink. This is where you can add your veins if you want to. Add whatever you fancy. It's your fuchsia. This is where we add a little bit of depth along that there, on that flick. And where this one comes, right, here we go, flicks, soft, So you can always, don't be afraid. This is the thing, I think, you've got to kind of just go for it. You've got 1, 2, look, you've got 1, 2, 3. This is a good practicing one down here. You've got 3 opportunities. Look, 1, 2, 3 opportunities to practice. This is what this is. It's practice. It's all about practice. You know, and I said yesterday, I was being a bit flippant, but I said, you know, get yourself a second set of postcards. We've got plenty in the cupboard. Don't hold back. And I'm actually quite serious about that, because I think it is about practice. It's about trying it out and then saying, right, I know what I've figured out. I know what I want to do. I know what I want to avoid doing. I know how to get that lovely shading done. I want to have another go. So you've got 1 for practice, and you can experiment. And then you've got 1 that you, when you want to get it really like perfect, you know, like almost like a journal, like a lockdown art book of your own, you know. So now I've got that light feathery strokes. So see how it's changing the colour though from that pink, just by gently whisking over the top as well. There you go. Magenta's a powerful colour, isn't it? Nice though. And again, you can either, you can introduce the colour or you can take it out with the eraser, whichever. They call it a technique, not a mistake, you know. That's it. That looked good. So gently, gently. This is nice here. So you can add a bit of... See, I'm skimming over the top of the paper. If you could see me, you could see the amount of pressure I'm not using, right? I'm skimming. I'm skimming. That's how dark it could be. And I'm just skimming over the top. But it's enough to make a difference. It's completely changing the colour of the overall flower. I'm just changing the tone altogether. Getting the shadow in. Flipping to get that sharpness where I want veins. Yeah, I'm right into this one here. This is the one that was going to flick for me. Right. That's it. Bit of depth. Quite dramatic now. So you've got your depth. Okay. Bit overcooked it there, but do you know, let me take my blending pen. I've got one here somewhere. I've only got the one with a couple of nibs, but it does the job. Where did I put that then? There it is. That one's a bit overdone, so we'll just tone that down. Then I'll come in here, start building this up, smooth this out beautifully. Yeah. And I think, you know, if there are people out there mocking people like us who spend ages just colouring in little bits and pieces like this, I think they haven't really understood the benefits, really, of a mindful process like colouring in. And also, I don't think they've understood the anxiety levels that some of us are experiencing through these last few months, you know, and aren't we lucky that we've actually found a solution, that we've got something that we can do to just distract us momentarily, huh? So what I'm doing here, I'm actually, it's the light yellow glaze, it's just the pencil, but what I'm doing is I'm putting I'm putting the stamen in now, right? And I'm pressing quite hard because I almost want to make a bit of a seal, if you like, so that when I come in with the black in a minute, because it's quite hard to try and leave these bits. That'll do. There. See, if you look there. So what I've done now, isn't that pretty? And there's a little bit of green there too. So the green that I did, I took a blend actually. I really like this colour, earth green. I like that one. Yeah. And what's this one? Leaf green. So I just added a little flash of, I mean, if you've got the pencils in front of you, why wouldn't you use them, eh? Bit of that colour. And then I came in with the second one, just to tone it down a little bit. There you go. That's that done. Yeah. Everybody happy? You enjoying this? See, and once there's still a little bit more colour, you can see there's a little bit more depth to be done. But all that is a little bit more of the second pencil and the third pencil, right? So again, it's just the flat, and then up we go again, and we just look. I can show you another generation, another layer. Just flick, 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 flick with this one. I don't want to over egg it though, because I'm enjoying the process as well. Then I can take this one and I can go in and I can add a bit of depth around with that one as well. See? And it gets darker and darker. If I don't like it, I've got my get out clause. If I want to add a little bit of light, I can start in the middle. I don't have to start on the outside. Don't think, oh, it's an inner, you know, I can't do it on the inside. You can get a clean rubber and you can just, look, I can take out colour right from the middle as well. If I want light to hit this area, just so you understand, you're not, see? Easy, easy, easy to just take it out, put it in, take it out, put it in. And then the last thing I wanted to show you today, because I thought this would be really nice to do as well, just to see if we, quite pouring now, love it. Right, let's just take a black pencil. Okay, just doing a little bit of making a flat really. I'm just making a flat. Oh, it's tipping down, can you hear it? And then what I'm going to do is see if I can't come in just gently, gently, gently around the edge like this. Take your time. And it's really a light layer. It's like you're whispering around, you're whispering. And the object of the exercise, you have a look. You're just going to whisper around those yellow stamen. It's good practice, you know. Great training. And we'll just go down the stamen and then just gently, gently add a bit of shade. And I think what you'll find is the more you do this, the better your colouring will get, because this is all about, see, black's such a savage, you know, it's black, isn't it? So to be able to control black, it'd be easy to take a yellow and say, come on, let's go round this flower with a light yellow or a light blue, but no, let's take black and then let's try and see if we can control the depth. There you go. And when you get in, do you remember we talked about it a couple of weeks ago? You can bring your pen up a little bit, like up on it, so it's more perpendicular rather than on a slope, and then you'll get more of a tip. So you can do that. And then of course you can flip it, can't you? So you've got the black. Be careful though, because it's black. Black's black. And then gently, gently, see, that tip will get much closer in. I mean, right at the end, when we go to, See, you may decide that you don't want to make your black, black, black. You may want to do it like that, or you may want to do it like these, like beautiful, dramatic, like boom, tropical. Yeah. But the thing that you have to know is you do have choices. And we're going to just show you, I'm going to try and show you how you do it. And then you can choose. You decide what you want to do. See? And we know, I've figured out that you're talented now. You're talented enough. You just need a few tricks. And once a few tricks, a few ideas, a vehicle, and off you go. And this will take a while. Of course it will. See, so the depth is in there. So you flick between the flat and the tip when you flip it. So just go like that. And it's like I say, if you over egg it and you think, oh, that's a little bit too black, then all you do is get your eraser, which is our biggest selling product. Surprise! we can't stock them fast enough. I get that. There you are, you see. And then when you go round, then if you want to go in a bit deeper, as if it was the flower, it's the same thing. Just press a little bit harder, go over again. You don't even have to press harder. Just go over the same area with the same colour and it will automatically add another layer. Look, isn't that lovely? So now you decide. How black you want your black background to be. Gently, gently. And this is really, you know, for our theme this week, this whole attention to detail, watch, listen. This is a perfect exercise, isn't it, for that, eh? Nothing like it. It's magnificent. So thank you so much, Dee, for putting us on this trail. Isn't that lovely, look? It's very addictive as well. Be warned. When you start. Yesterday, when we called it a day at 11 o'clock, I didn't move from the spot for another hour. I did all my flowers, like a bit of downtime. I was supposed to go to work. And there I was, colouring in flowers. And I thought, well, do you know, it's okay. I do what I need to do as well. But so really light black. And you can leave it gritty, do you see, like pencil grit, or it's the same again. If you want it to be smoother, then guess what you do? You take your nib. I'm going to dedicate one nib just to black. Yes, because we're going to be doing a lot of it. And then when you go over like this, you watch it change again. Look, when you go in here, it changes. It smooths out. I love this. It changes it completely. And you just transfer the oily pigment around. Just shuffle it around. And it goes from being gritty to smooth. Nice, eh? There you go. So, if you have time today, and it's not particularly nice weather, then try the other two fuchsias. You've got that one, and that one. Hang on. You can't see what I'm showing you. So we're so close in on it, you can't see what I'm doing. But maybe if you have time and you feel inclined, then try this fuchsia and this fuchsia too, and see if you can't get a little bit of the black. What we're doing is we're just laying down the groundwork for the black. And then, you know, I was thinking, I mean, I haven't done it yet, but I was thinking perhaps what I would do, just by way of contrast, but it's like these, but a little bit different. I might go really black to here, and then I might kind of change it to lighter grey as it goes up. And if I don't like it, I can always go back over it, can't I? That's my theory anyway. So perhaps by tomorrow, oh, those glasses. Maybe tomorrow we could get back together, and tomorrow we could start on the hummingbirds, because we will have done the lily beautiful cups, and we will have done the fuchsias, Fuchsia, the fuchsias, and we'll be going to the hummingbirds, and they are glorious little birds. I'll tell you about them tomorrow. They're gorgeous. You get them in New Mexico, like loads. It's fantastic. Yeah, so I could tell you a story about hummingbirds, and I shall save that for tomorrow. And so today, I hope you have a lovely Tuesday, and a relaxing Tuesday, and an anxiety-free Tuesday. Come on, let's have a stretch. Oh, don't you find when you're doing like that all the time, it makes your neck ache a bit? Does mine. Stop raining now. So I hope you have a smashing Tuesday, and thank you, Stuart, for your help. It's a really relaxing session, isn't it? Calm. It's all good. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Lots of love. Bye-bye now.